So yeah, I think all the neighborhood is very worried about this.
And apart from Cartel de los Soles, in your country, Colombia, President Trump has designated a notorious drug trafficking organization as a terrorist group. The U.S. Treasury Department added Clan del Golfo, or Gulf Clan, to its list of foreign terrorist organizations. How is that being taken? And who are they? Who is this gang?
The Clan del Golfo is the biggest armed group in Colombia. It's a group involved in all kinds of illegal activities that has gone by several names. They are responsible for nearly half of the illegal drugs that have left Colombia in recent years, according to the Colombian authorities. Its tentacles extend to criminal operations associated with not just drug trafficking, but also extortion, illegal mining, and even the capture of public resources through municipal administrations. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but it's involved in all that, and it's also involved in migrant smuggling through the dense jungle that separates Colombia and Panama, the Darién. It has approximately 9,000 armed men, according to the most recent estimates from Colombian intelligence. That's far more than all the other armed groups in Colombia.
Santiago Torrado there. Well, let's stay with this subject because we have Nick Marsh, our business presenter, with us in the studio to talk a bit more about it. And Nick, how big a deal do you think this potentially could be, this decision to embargo these vessels in terms of global oil supplies and prices and so on?
Well, I mean, Venezuela is a big oil producer, but it is by no means the largest by any stretch. The US is actually coming up is the largest. So the first thing to say is that this blockade isn't choking off a key pipeline to the rest of the world. The second thing to say is that we are specifically talking about US-sanctioned oil vessels. So we're talking about a third to maybe half of all, Venezuelan oil exports. So you're going to get businesses, in places where this oil is allegedly going, Malaysia, China, Cuba, they're going to be feeling the effects there. But if you look at the overall global picture, it's probably not making that much of a difference because this oil technically wasn't in the market anyway. And you look at the markets and you can see there's barely been difference in the price.
Friday night, west winds 30 to 49, 14 to 21 feet. Saturday, west to northwest winds 20 to 30 knots, diminishing to 10 to 20 knots. Seas 11 to 18 feet. Saturday night, south to southwest winds 20 to 30 knots. Seas 6 to 10 feet. Sunday, west to southwest winds 20 to 30 knots. Seas 8 to 11 feet. Sunday night, west. The offshore waters forecast for Hudson Canyon to Baltimore Canyon out to 1,000 fathoms. Gale force winds possible Friday. Tonight, southwest winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 knots. Seas 3 to 4 feet. Wednesday, southwest winds 20 to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. Wednesday night, west to northwest winds 15 to 25 knots, becoming north to northwest 5 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 8 feet. Thursday, southeast winds 5 to 15 knots, becoming southwest. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Thursday night, south winds 20 to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet, building to 6 to 10 feet. Friday, south to southwest winds 30 to 40 knots, becoming west 35 to 45 knots. Seas 9 to 15 feet. Friday night, west to northwest winds 30 to 40 knots. Seas 10 to 18 feet. Saturday, northwest winds 15 to 25 knots, becoming southwest 10 to 20 knots. Seas 7 to 12 feet, subsiding to 4 to 7 feet. Saturday night, south winds 20 to 30 knots, becoming southwest. Seas 6 to 10 feet. Sunday, west to southwest winds 20 to 30 knots. Seas 6 to 10 feet. Sunday night, west to northwest winds 20 to 30 knots. Seas 5 to 9 feet. You're listening to Noise All Hazards Radio, station KWO35 in New York City. This broadcast originates from the National Weather Service Forecast Office located on the grounds of Brookhaven National Laboratory in Upton, New York. Station KWO35 broadcasts on a frequency of 162.55 megahertz. The current time is 1:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here is the extended forecast. Friday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 20s. Saturday, partly sunny. Cooler with highs around 40. Saturday night, mostly cloudy. Lows in the mid-30s. Sunday, partly sunny. Highs in the mid-40s. Sunday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 20s. Monday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 30s. Monday night, mostly cloudy. Lows in the upper 20s. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A chance of rain and snow in the morning, then a chance of rain in the afternoon. Highs in the lower 40s. Chance of precipitation 30%. Here are the current conditions. As of 1 a.m. at Central Park, it was clear. The temperature was 31 degrees, the dew point 11, and the relative humidity 43%. The wind was variable at 6 miles an hour, producing a wind chill of 25. The pressure was 30.13 inches and falling. The report from the Bronx Botanical Gardens was not available. Elsewhere in the metropolitan area, in White Plains, it was clear, with a temperature of 27. It was partly cloudy, with a temperature of 30 at LaGuardia Airport and 23 at Newark. At Kennedy, it was mostly cloudy, with a temperature of 28. Across Long Island, it was clear. It was 27 at Farmingdale, 28 at Islip, and 21 at West Hampton. In New Jersey, it was clear. It was 25 at Caldwell, 24 at Teterboro, 13 at Somerset, 26 at Lyndon, and 24 at Trenton. In southwest Connecticut, it was clear. It was 29 at Bridgeport, 27 at Danbury, and 33 at New Haven. Here are the latest reports on the coastal waters. At Robbins Reef in New York Harbor, winds were southwest at 7 knots. The air temperature was 30 degrees. At New York Harbor entrance buoy, winds were southwest at 19 knots. Sea temperature 47 degrees. Air temperature 37 degrees. Wave height 3 feet. Wave period 4 seconds. At 20 nautical miles south of Fire Island Inlet, winds were southwest at 17 knots. Air temperature 40 degrees. The report from 23 nautical miles south Montauk Point was not available. The report from Hudson Canyon was not available. At the buoy 15 nautical miles east of 15 nautical miles east of Barnegat Light, the air temperature was 39 degrees, and the sea surface temperature 47 degrees. Waves were 2 feet with a dominant period of 3 seconds. On the western sound, Kings Point reported a southwest wind at 10 knots. The air temperature was 31 degrees. At Bridgeport Harbor, a west wind at 4 knots was reported. The air temperature was 29 degrees. The report from Central Sound was not available. The following are coastal weather reports. As of 1 a.m. at Egan's Neck, wind was southwest at 10 miles an hour. At Morgan's Point in Glen Cove, wind was south at 9 miles an hour. At Fire Island Coast Guard, temperature was 36 degrees. Wind was southwest at 18 miles an hour. At Jones Beach, temperature was 34 degrees. Wind was southwest at 14 miles an hour. At Breezy Point, wind was southwest at 10 miles an hour. Here is the official National Weather Service forecast for the New York City metropolitan area. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then clearing. Lows in the mid-20s. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 40s. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 20s. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour in the evening. Thursday, mostly sunny. highs around 50. East winds around 5 miles per hour, becoming southeast in the afternoon. Thursday night, rain. Not as cool with lows in the lower 40s. South winds 15 to 20 miles per
Oh,
hour.
hello, James Farley.
Gusts up to 25 miles per hour, increasing to 35 miles per hour after midnight. Chance of rain near 100%. Friday, rain
Put the
in
light
morning,
off for a
then
second.
partly sunny in the afternoon.
That's how it looks with the
Highs around
light.
50s. Temperature falling into the lower 40s.
I really like the light. I really like this radio. It's very becoming one of my favorite radios.
Forecast. Friday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 20s.
Really like the radio. It's a very nice radio.
Cooler with highs around 40. Saturday night.
Oh, you hear the washing machine in the background? Yeah, I'm doing laundry.
Sunday, partly sunny. Highs in the mid-40s. Sunday night, partly cloudy.
I'm just washing a couple of
Lows in the upper
towels.
20s. Monday, mostly
So, 30 minutes left in the
Monday
wash
night,
washing
mostly
machines.
cloudy. Lows in the upper 20s.
I just said let me do this a couple of nights.
Mostly cloudy.
Last night I did it. I got a few views. I got about 200
Chance
views.
of rain in the afternoon.
I said let me do it again today while I'm up.
40s. Chance of precipitation 30%.
Sipping a little bit of wine
Here are the current conditions. As of 1 a.m. at
Doing
Central
laundry.
Park, it was clear.
and yeah,
The
so why not?
temperature 31 degrees. It was dew point 11.
I did a live stream here and then I went on TikTok. I did a live stream on TikTok for about an hour and a half.
At 6 miles an hour, producing a wind chill of 25. The pressure was 30.
Yeah, well the snow's gonna be melting tomorrow.
The report from the Bronx Botanical Gardens was not.
I know it's crazy. Finally we got some snow like that. Wow.
In White Plains, it was
It's about 4, let's say 3
It
inches.
was partly cloudy with a temperature of 30 at
Pretty
LaGuardia
cool.
Airport and 23 at Newark. In Kennedy, it was mostly
Yeah.
cloudy with a temperature of 28. Across Long Island, it was clear. It was 27 at Farmingdale, 28 at
Then I
Islip,
posted the
and 21 at
kitchen
in New Jersey.
on Danny, DYI Danny. I posted the
25
kitchen.
at Caldwell, 24 at Teterboro.
Oh, it went very well. Let me lower this down. I mean, it's me and you talking now. Let me.
24 at Trenton. In
Actually, let me turn it
Southwest
off. Oh, sorry.
Connecticut was 29.
Marrying a US citizen, that's going to be also, I mean, if you don't have any real genuine bona fide marriage,
Okay, that's what happens when you.
go into marriage status, changing your status through marriage.
All right, sorry about that. Let me just turn it off for a bit. Actually, let me lower the whip and put it right there. And then, yeah, my son's. Oh, sorry, I hit that with my shoulder. Sorry about that. No, my son's party room went very well. Everybody enjoyed themselves. It was nice. Of course, it was chaotic before that. You know, getting all the stuff ready and but he loved it. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. At first, he was saying he didn't want the party, but then when his family came over and they were all, you know, they got a bunch of gifts. Of course, I got him that video game system that I don't know if I mentioned it. I didn't do an unboxing on it, but it's one of those retro game systems that you plug into the TV, and it has like 20,000 games already. I'll make a review on it in you know soon. Yeah, he had fun. He enjoyed it, so he was happy. So you know, it turned out to be a good party. Everybody enjoyed themselves, and I'm just drinking the wine that was left over from the party. I'm normally not a wine drinker, but hey, it's gonna sit there and go to waste. Why not? Excuse me. Yeah. So. Yeah, having a little cup, a little plastic cup. Cheers. I don't let good wine go to waste. Oh yeah, everybody said they loved the kitchen. Everybody enjoyed it. In fact, her sister-in-law. Let me do a quick story here. a sister-in-law, yeah, she really loved it so much. She said, "Oh, can I have him come over and do my kitchen?" I wouldn't mind doing more than her kitchen. I just put it Oh yeah, so she really loved the kitchen. She really loved the kitchen. She was like, "Oh, can basically, can I borrow him?" Oh yeah, yeah, she's very voluptuous. Let's just put it that way. And I'm a sucker for very voluptuous, especially the upper body strength. Yeah, I could check the plumbing. And then, what happened on top of all that, the husband didn't come over. So I was going to ask her, yo, why your husband at? But then she told my wife that they're separating. So I'm like, ooh. But I won't do it, though. I'm not going to do it. Because you know why? My son. I won't do it. My son. But yeah, do I have is the thoughts are there? Oh yeah, the thoughts are there. Of course the thoughts are there. But will I act on it? No, I won't act on it. I have too much at stake. Just put it that way. Especially in the financial department. It's not worth that much money. Yeah, of course, imagination is great. And I'll leave it at that. Imagination is great. Yeah. But my God, I mean, I got hello, Dan. I got the tightest hug ever from her. Because I know. Part of me knows that she really interested in me too. There's a rivalry thing going on there. Yeah. Yeah, and doghouse needs refurbishing. Anyway, so next project is going to be the bathroom upstairs. So I have to, that bathroom is going to get demoed. I'm going to basically demo the walls because of the moisture that happened. I'm probably going to reframe some of the walls because of the moisture. And then I'm going to build a walk-in shower. Because right now, in that bathroom, there's an old tub. It's probably been there for God knows how many years. An old-fashioned bathtub. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to put a walk-in shower. Glass door and all that stuff. So that's another challenge I have. Yeah, steel tub. That's what I have. So I'm going to have to cut that sucker up and take it out in pieces. Yep, steel tub. That's what I have. Old school. It's not the one with the feet. It's literally embedded in that side of the bathroom. So it's not the one with the feet. So yeah, but it's steel. Yeah, I have tiles, but I'm going to tear all that down. The tiles go up to about, I'm going to say about a third high on the wall. And then on the shower side, of course, on the bathroom side, goes all the way up to the top. But I'm definitely going to put tiles. I'm definitely going to get rid of all that. When I'm going to demo the bathroom, I'm going to gut it. So I'm going to tear down all that old sheetrock. Because the sheetrock they put in there is not for bathrooms. It's regular sheetrock, which is, the worst thing you can do because I guess mold. And there is some mold. And then I'm going to replace that with, It's like cement sheets, especially in the bathroom. You have to put like they're not they're not drywall sheetrock. They're like cement. You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. So they're like cement sheets. Yeah, the green stuff too. Yeah, yeah, the green stuff. For the regular wash, but for the shower, I'm gonna have to put I think probably the cement one, and then I'll probably line it up with some of course YouTube. So I'll go on YouTube and get the shower base is already gonna be. I think we're gonna order one, the floor, and then because it's like a big shower base, and then after that I'm gonna build around it. I'm gonna put big tiles too. I don't like small tiles. I'm not crazy about small tiles. So they're gonna be, big tiles like not 12 by 12. I mean really big tiles. I'm talking about like probably like big for the shower wall and the shower. Yeah, the shower walls are gonna be big tiles. I thought about putting just solid I seen it done somewhere where they put the solid like I forgot what material it's called, but I don't want to do that. I want tiles, but I want to put big tiles, and then the same thing for the rest of the house, rest of the bathroom. I don't want to put small tiles. I want to put big tiles. I like big tiles. Maybe like kind of like stone looking tiles. I don't know, something like that. So right now, what we have now is a mess. It's horrible. The people that lived here before us were Mexican, and they were resourceful and practical. Yeah, of course, that too. Yeah. You're probably gonna have to tear. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna tear up the floor too. I'm gonna tear up the floor. I'm gonna put new floor. I'm gonna put new what they call OSB first. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna tear the floor up too, because that's the other issue that I have too. The drain pipe is a mess. Is actually I need to replace that too. The drain pipe is cast iron, but I'm gonna replace it with PVC. So that's another thing I have to do. The drain pipe, especially the sewer line, whatever you call it, the drain for all the wastewater. So I'm gonna have to replace that. So I'm gonna cut it and put a PVC one in there. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to tear up the floor. At least half of the floor, but most likely the whole bathroom floor. I'll be right back. And let me put the other radio in the back. Actually, I'm gonna put this one on. Let me put WNYC. I'll be right back.
Developed under the leadership of Stokes and the coach Brendan Baz McCullum. Over the course of the last 3 years, Stokes himself acknowledged to the BBC yesterday that it was possibly the biggest match of his captaincy career, and England do need to win it, because if they don't, then it'll be a series gone, Australia retaining the Ashes. But if they can get on a bit of a roll then who knows, it could be that with these two matches that follow this one coming in quick succession in Melbourne on Boxing Day and then the New Year's Test in Sydney, it could just be that we see one of the all-time series. I think at this stage, England will be reasonably satisfied with their work, but they know there is plenty more to do.
Henry, thank you very much. That's Henry Moran joining us live from Adelaide. Let's talk football next. It was a tough night for Chelsea in the EFL Cup against League One Cardiff, but they got the one they needed.
Buonanotte, on into Chelsea, trying to go Neto, and he finds the bottom corner. Neto tries it low, oh,
Red, red wine. Let me close this antenna out.
FIFA have introduced a
I'm sorry.
next year's World Cup more affordable.
Let me shut it off for a minute. All right, let me put it right there. Make sure. Oh no, that's another thing I need to do. I need to. That bathroom did not have no fan to blow out the humidity. Nope. So I'm probably gonna have to. I need to install a system for the humidity to escape. Because that part, what happened was, like I said, Mexican. What happened was that part of the house is an addition. So they added that part of they added the bathroom and the foyer. Remember when I showed you the video, the kitchen, that door that you saw, that door with the reef, that goes out to a foyer. Originally, many years ago, that was outside. That was a backyard outside, but they added another section, and they put the foyer, and then to your left is the bathroom. So the bathroom is located there. When you walk through that door and you make a left, the bathroom is right there. But the problem is that they never, they just added the bathroom. They just rerouted some plumbing there. They put a toilet, a sink, a basin, and the bathtub. That's what they did. That's it. They didn't really put no exhaust fan. The tile is, cheap tiles, whatever, the pink tiles, very cheap. But years later, finally, caught up. So I'm gonna demo that whole thing. We are gonna put an exhaust system. So I got my work cut out for me, bro. That's gonna be it. You think the kitchen project was big? This one is gonna be the biggest one out of all. So, yeah. So this addition must have happened like, I'm gonna say 40 years ago at least, probably in the 80s. It looks like when they put that addition, it's probably in the 70s or the 80s. So yeah. Oh yeah, a lot of old houses from the 20s. I had the kitchen in the back, and then a small area. Yeah. No, but this one was an addition. So it was not the original house. The original house, when it was built, the bathroom was upstairs. So the first floor was just a big, humongous living room. And then we had another room, like a dining room, and that was it. And then upstairs was the bedroom, the bathroom, and the kitchen. Originally it was a one-family house with a front porch. But they eliminated all that. They turned the front porch indoors. They bricked up. I gotta sneeze, hold on. Excuse me. I gotta sneeze. So even the front porch was bricked up. So yeah, originally it was a one-family house, and they converted it to a two-family house. That's what we have now. And of course, the basement has a bathroom also. It has a small walk-in shower. The bathroom down here is just a toilet, the basin, and a small walk-in shower. Really small. Like barely fit in there. Eventually, I'm going to redo that one too. But I got to redo the one upstairs first, and then I'll eventually. So down here, and of course the laundry, you can hear the washing machine now spinning. Yeah, so washing machine. So this is the boiler room slash laundry. Now, of course, I don't have a dryer, so I just hang up my clothes. Because the heat in the boiler, and plus, you know, if necessary, I have to run a dehumidifier. And that's it. My clothes usually dries up in a few hours. I've been doing this all day. Well, all evening until now. So this is my 5th wash. I'm just washing a couple of towels. So no, not this wall. This wall is by the hose. No, it's that wall. On that side is where the sump pump is at. If I zoom out, you'll see the sump pump hose. Hold on, let me zoom out. See the hose? That's the sump pump hose coming from the sump pump. So this wall is on this side. And you know, when I done my live stream before, I face this way. So this is the side. And of course I got plastic bags covered here because at one time this was a dryer vent. But I covered it up with plastic bags. There's another room next door. It used to be the old. There's a room next door underground. Or right now that room is empty. Eventually I'm gonna fix up that room and turn it into a storage room. The original laundry used to be in that room. So I haven't sealed this up. I just got a whole bunch of plastic bags in here, and it's sealed up pretty good. I don't get no draft at all. Yeah, so the sump pump is on that wall. On that wall. Basically behind me right now. To your left. But it's stone foundation. This is the. There's all stone and then it's brick. But the foundation is stone. As you can see, let me take it out of here. I'll show you. Hopefully I don't fuck up the live stream. Only for you, James. So this is stone wall. You see something hanging here? The sump pump is right there. Okay. And there's a washing machine. So stone. I'm gonna try to put this back here without fucking up the live stream. Let me see. I need to tighten up this knob. Hopefully, all right, there you go. Put it back on the mount. There you go. So yeah, this is stone, and you got brick. The house is brick. So stone foundation. And then we can zoom in to the radio. Oh yeah, that's like my family house when I grew up with that kind of wall. Yeah, this is stone. Well, you can't hear me, but yeah, this is stone. So on that side, I have to scrape off some of the old mortar. I'm gonna have to put new mortar. But yeah, it's stone. So you know, I don't get me wrong. I love the house. It has character. They don't make a house like this anymore. Stone foundation and all that. Now it's all cinder block foundation. But this one is stone and then brick walls. They used to use those rooms as cold storage. Yeah, I could have. The other room especially. Yeah, you could start. Of course, right now we do have some radiators down here. So, but it does get kind of cold down here. On real cold nights, yeah, you feel it down here a little bit. Although I have a little, one of those space heaters. Not the cheap ones, the real safe ones. Sometimes I crank it up for an hour. I put the timer on it 1 hour, and it keeps me okay. So, but yeah, there's nights when it gets really cold. I gotta be under the quilt. So right now, this basement is underground. And this part is by the boiler room. This part is literally underground. My backyard is above me. The backyard is above me. So this part of the house is underground. So that's why I'm able to I can still DX medium wave in this corner. In this corner of the house, I can still, let me see what I can pick up right now with this radio. I want to try this radio.
Game plan is here.
Let me try Zoomer radio. Okay, it's this way. Well, this radio, yeah, 740 is not gonna work.
We've seen those.
Let me try.
And I don't.
Yeah, this one the bandwidth is too wide.
Loudly and couldn't run in a straight line.
Yeah. Problem with this radio is the bandwidth on AM is too wide. Let me try 1520. Well, let me try WBT. Let me see. Yeah, not that bad.
It looks like things are getting even dicier.
Nicholas Lewis speaking as the price of Brent crude oil climbed towards $60 a barrel after losing more than 5%.
Hang on, leave it on Bloomberg.
Previous 4 sessions.
Okay, my wash ended, so let me just hang these towels. Just 2 towels. Let me hang them up over here.
Cooled notably more than expected in November. Economists had expected a slight slowdown from last month when the year-on-year rate was 3.6%, but the latest CPI reading for November shows a core reading of 3.2% year-on-year. The estimate had been for 3.4%, and overall consumer prices rising 3.2% year-on-year. The estimate for 3.5%. That puts CPI at its lowest annual rate since
Oh
March.
my God.
The Office for National Statistics says that the fall was down to lower food prices, which traditionally rise at this time of year.
Yeah, I think wine was gonna sneak up on me like that, but I got a little buzz going on with the wine.
Figure came out. Sterling
There you
currently
go,
down
okay.
0.6%.
Hang the 2 towels.
Against the dollar.
That's it. Let me close it.
Passed its flagship workers' rights package in a major win.
Got some decent AM last night. Yeah, same here.
Workers to stronger protection.
640. I heard something, but I couldn't make out.
From day one at a new job.
It sounded more local. It probably was relevant radio. I don't know if it's still on the air, actually. I don't know.
Workers' rights in
But I definitely didn't hear Cuba.
Really, really proud that as a government we are delivering this. Really delighted.
I'll be right back. Let me go get a refill.
Towards more defence we can deliver for millions of working people across this country and upgrade workers' rights to its fit for the 21st century.
did and took over the bill after former Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner resigned from the government in the autumn over a tax scandal. Rayner is widely seen as a potential successor to Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and this bill was her flagship piece of legislation.
Now, the UK is sticking to its ambitious electric vehicle targets at a time when car makers are deciding where to invest in their next EV factories. The EU announced plans to water down their phase out of combustion engines yesterday. Bloomberg's EU climate reporter John Ainger says it's a bid to protect the automotive industry.
The mood music in Europe, I think, has really changed over the last couple of years or so, and there's been a big push to focus on safeguarding industry. And of industry, car makers, particularly those in Germany, and also the parts manufacturers that supply all the elements needed to make cars, they've really raised like the red flag. They say that the market is not ready.
The EU
Are you getting something at 640?
discussing leaves Britain as the only major
Well, right now I'm charging the Qdo. No, I'm charging the SX Data D608. But last night I had the Qdosin up there. Maybe I'll put the Qdosin in a few minutes.
Means that any divergence in rules will add to uncertainty for car manufacturers.
Cheers.
Talks to invest $10 billion or more into OpenAI
Nice cold
for using its semiconductor chips.
wine.
Sources tell Bloomberg talks are at an early stage, with the deal
Red wine.
$1 billion. In recent months, Wall Street has started to raise alarm bells about the scale
There you go.
of the AI space and if it might be a bubble. Representatives for OpenAI and Amazon declined to comment.
Those are our top stories in the markets. The pound is sliding after that weaker than expected inflation reading in the UK.
Yeah, I woke up around 4 a.m. and I saw you was online. Yeah, I've been on the last couple of nights. I said, you know what?
Still below $60 a
I said, let me go on. I'm trying to make up my viewing hours. Because, you know, if I don't do this, I'm going to get demonetized. And I said it before, if I get demonetized on this channel is dead. I ain't going through this again.
In a moment more on that latest UK
You know.
data, another story that we've been reading this morning, thinking about
But I was surprised. At one point, I had 17 people. At one point, I had like 17 people watching. I was like, what? And this form, I guess the vertical format, this format, I don't know. I was like, wow. So at the end of the live stream, I looked at, I said I had 200 views. I'm like, okay, man, I'm going to start doing this type of deal.
So instead of necessarily cutting back, it seems people are making more decisions to drink
Well, I have to have 4,000 hours in 1 year.
coffee machines and
But I try to average
as well. Is this a moment, Caroline, for you to make the
at least 300 hours a month,
Yes, I think it is.
viewing hours.
It just shows how addicted we all are to caffeine and how much we love
Actually, more than that, you know. Yeah, about 350 views 350 viewing hours a month, which is not impossible. So I'm getting there.
to pick your place is what I
And they don't count viewing hours during the live stream. It's after the live stream they count the viewing hours.
Stella and Stella the dog.
So right now I'm doing a live stream. They don't count that. They count afterwards.
All over the branding as well.
How many people watch it afterwards? That's what. But that's the secret to well, not the secret, but you know, I made it clear.
Now let's dive
That's how I keep my viewing hours up. Is live streaming. If I don't live stream, I would have got demonetized a long time ago.
inflation, but it came in even
So I have to live stream.
Joining us now is Bloomberg's EMEA FX and rate
But my videos, they get views. I get some that get views, not all, but you know, there's a bunch of them that do get
Extraordinary number, really.
some views.
UK inflation, you get this number.
But the live stream is what keeps it alive
Really shocks, and this is one of those. I mean,
in terms of monetization.
numbers 3.5, 3.6 in that
So,
kind of order, and it comes in.
I have to live stream. If I don't live stream, I would have been demonetized a long time ago.
Many of our forecasts in the Bloomberg survey, and I think, I mean, you're right that we've had half inflation.
So you know, I'm trying out different things. You know, like the Anthony Cumia live stream, that actually did pretty good. But the problem with that is that that's copywriting stuff. You know, I don't want to get caught up in that.
Which will obviously be incredibly welcome for the Bank of England.
But if I would have been doing that,
Everyone would now kind of
I remember Anthony Cumia when I was doing that, I was getting like 25. I had like 25 people at one time watching,
plus or minus 1%.
I was averaging like double digits all the time. I was like, oh, okay, cool, nice.
a very good number for the bank.
But I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to lose my channel
If there were any doubts about a
over
break
that. So I was like, okay, I need to stop this.
this kind of completely clears the way for the bank, and particularly Bailey, who was slightly
So-
wavering to kind of pull the trigger and cut rates.
The question, I suppose, looking further down the line as well, is if we put together the jobs data that we had and the inflation print as well, I mean, the real
Yeah.
questions are what the Bank of England does next year. Are there elements in this inflation report that point to something that might be anomalous, or can we draw the part that's a larger trend out of it?
I think it shows that the trend is certainly there, which is, I think, the important thing. The bank were looking for 3.4%, so they were slightly below consensus anyway. So, I mean, we're not, we're never a million miles away from forecast, but it's just, a surprise downside that will be well.
Let me try the 608.
Right now, I think if you discount the expected cut,
Let me turn this one off.
we had just over one more priced in for
All right. Let's hit the 608.
have happened in front of a Colombian coast and in front
I
of
see, right.
Ecuadorian coast. So,
Let me put it right
I
here.
think, all the neighborhood is very worried about this.
And apart from Cartel de los Soles, in your country, Colombia, President Trump has designated
Yeah.
a notorious
Yeah, I shut it down because.
organization as a terrorist group. The US Treasury.
Let me turn it on because I don't want to waste battery. Yeah, I shut it down because I had, I was gonna leave it online for a weekend, and I did that, and everybody, But then what happened was a couple of idiots kept, because my server. What happens is I have a plugin that, after an hour it kicks you off, but there's always a couple of idiots that want to keep hogging up the server, and then. One morning, Tasso was on, and Tasso went in there, and the chat was open. And Tasso asked the person, "Can I tune?" And the person was already hogging up the server for 6 hours, and the person didn't reply. So I banned them. I banned the IP address for San Francisco. The problem with the server is, even if you ban IP address, they can get another IP address and connect again. Like Chicopee. And I'm going to talk about him right now because you know what? You're the only one here and he's not on. But the kid is a fucking drama queen. That's something that happened. Well, because I had my server down for about a year, a month and a half. I had the server down. So I didn't know at the time that he went off on Tasso. About something about, because on my Discord, I saw that the kid, yeah, so Brooklyn is banned. Yeah, he's banned. But it was a guy from San Francisco, actually. The one at that time, it was San Francisco. No, it was actually Brooklyn. Yeah, it was Brooklyn. So Tasso asked, can I tune? And the guy from Brooklyn never replied. But that's what he does. He just connects. And when he gets disconnected, he reconnects. Just hogging up the fucking server, like. So I was like, I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of fucking dealing with idiots. Right now he's down because I had it on last night for about an hour or two. Actually, for like about 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, let me say 3 or 4 hours. And then what happened? Some idiot kept trying to reconnect. And I just said, fuck it, I'm going to shut it down. That's it. And then I gave Tasso admin access. He connected. He was listening to he was listening to the station and all that. But he doesn't connect that often. So I'm like, I'm not going to leave it on all day so he can just connect. I'm like, I got to the point where, I'm done. So right now it is down. I probably bring it up on the weekend. Christmas weekend, I'll have it up. And then after that, I think I'm going to have a permanent disconnect. Because I'm going to wipe out the hard drive on that server. Because that one has Windows 11, but Windows 11 is acting up on that one. Every time it tries to update, it just can't update. It's stuck. So it has to, so that one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it out. I'm going to put, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whenever I connect to it, I just do a quick band scan. But most people don't do that. So, well, most people do that, but it's one like the 2% that don't do that, and they keep it on all day. And then when you go in there, you already see two people in there. And when you see two people in there or three people, that discourage the person from hanging around and waiting. And I don't want that. I always want people to, you use a server, hit it and quit it. Get the fuck off my server. Let the next person don't hang around there. And that's what happens. So even if I bring back the server, I'm already disabling the chat. Because this Chicopee guy, apparently, with Mike is the guy from Connecticut. He posted that he was going to kill himself. Chicopee posted that he was going to kill himself. So Mike had to report him to the police. Mike had to call the police and make a report. He said, "Look, I got a guy in my chat, and he's threatening to kill himself." I didn't know about that. So I'm this close to banning that kid. I'm this close. This close to banning that kid outright. Because, of course, we know he's autistic. But not only autistic, he has a behavioral problem. And, can you blame it on autism? That's fine. But you know what? It's not my business to babysit other people. I'm sorry. So that's what happened with this kid. This kid posted that he was going to kill himself. And he called him a whole bunch of names because Mike got fed up. Mike came to me. Mike emailed me months ago. He said, "Yo, I got these two people always hanging out on my server. What am I going to do?" I told him, just shut off the chat. That's it. That's what you can do. The only reason why, because you got the chat open. Me, I shut off the chat every so often because you know what? When I see too many people, I shut off the chat. Plus, I kick people off all the time. They know it. When I'm doing updates, right? Like I'm messing around with the plugin, whatever. I kick people off. I don't care. I don't care if you're in the middle of tuning my server. I'm gonna kick you off. I don't care. I'm not gonna apologize for that. So they know that when it comes to my server, they're not gonna fuck around. It's not the place to go fuck around. Because I cleaned out the whole fucking I had like 5 people connected. I cleaned them out. Kick. That's it. I don't care. And they try to connect again. Kick. That's it. And then I'll pull the plug on the server. So they know. But apparently, I don't know why Mike has a glutton for punishment. He leaves the server on all the time. I told him, listen, you're gonna have to shut down your server every once in a while, at least for a whole weekend, so people don't get the customer. You're going in there hanging out. And he's one of them. The kid is a drama queen. So he went off on task on my Discord. So I was this close to banning him on Discord. This close. So I'll give him a chance. I told Tasso, Tasso, he has autism, and he's gonna blow up and do rants and all that. And I bring up some other stuff about it, a lot of, and let me tell you something. Children that are autistic, statistically, they're raised by a single parent. That is true. It's unfortunate. A lot of just regular kids. A lot of regular kids right now don't even have a father. And everybody that I know, every woman that I know has an autistic child, they're single parent. Because the husband or the father said, you know what, I don't want to deal with this shit. Straight up. They left. So I know, the kid is going through a lot. The kid is going through a lot of shit. I get it. And especially he's at the age right now where he's a teenager. and whatever. But you know what? That's no excuse to curse out my friend Tasso and then curse out Mike. So, I gave him a final warning. I said, listen, if you act up again, I don't care what condition you have. I don't care about all this shit. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. You could unsubscribe me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if you unsubscribe me. I'm going to put a stop to that. My channel is not here to babysit people. If you cannot behave on my Discord or my server, you will get banned. I will ban the shit out of you. And every time I see your name, I will ban it. That's it. I made it clear. So far, he's been behaving. Is that going to last forever? No, I know it's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever. It's not. It's not. So right now, this close, he's going to get banned for life in my channel. Because, like I said before, I'm not here to babysit people. And there's a whole legal issue behind that. Especially when he posted that on his server that he wanted to kill himself. Mike did the right thing. He reported that to the police. He reported that to the police, to his, not only his local police, he reported about that. Not Mike's, because Mike lives in Connecticut. He lives in Massachusetts. He called up their police department and he reported that. He said, and I say, and I they posted it, saying, you did the right thing. Because now you cover your ass. You're not liable. Because what happened is, this is the problem that we have in the society. It's very litigious. If that kid would have come here and threatened to off himself, because now I can't even say that word. Right now I'm already flirting with getting my stream taken down. If he threatened to off himself, my responsibility is to, I'm going to report him to his local police department. I'm going to say, listen, that way you cover yourself. That way, because they could say, oh yeah, you provoked them. You ever heard of those cases where you provoke the individual from offing themselves? So Mike did the right thing. So, and right now Mike has his chat shut off. If you notice, everybody on the Northeast, all their chat is shut off because of this kid. Because of one kid. So that's why I don't want to put my server online anymore. I think I'm done. I think in my case, I'm done. Because I'm going to wipe it out anyway. I'm going to put Linux on it, and I'm probably going to use it for something else. Because it's not worth the hassle. This server script, the server program, I mean, there is a plugin that you can put him on a global ban list. Anyway, the kid said he's going to open up his server on Christmas. He's going to get it for, what? Once he has a server, let him, whatever. But I don't want to deal with him anymore. I'm done with him. I don't want to deal with that. That's why I made it clear. I don't want teenagers hanging out on my server, my channel. I don't want teenagers here because you know what? I don't want to deal with that shit. Because that's a whole nother legalese. And that's why I'm this close to ending this channel. Because I'm tired. And first of all, YouTube is screwing me over on a bunch of levels. So, what can I say? I'm just streaming for the heck of it, for just to get viewing hours. That's it. But I don't want to deal with this shit. I don't want to deal with, God forbid somebody fucking, off themselves. I'm trying to use my word. I'm trying to choose my words carefully. And then I get the blame for it. I get the blame for it, And you get the blame. Oh yeah, you harassed them and whatever. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with that shit. So I'm just giving him one more chance, and then I'm gonna ban the shit out of him. I'm done with that. I don't want to deal with that shit. Just like the other kid. The other kid kept fucking around, and I banned him. I said, "Fuck you. You're out of here. I'm done." Yeah, and the other kid hasn't been back since then. And same thing with the other guy. When I go to his chat, and he happened to be there. He was there. He's been there lately. He goes to the other chat. He's been there lately, and he even mentioned my name the last Saturday. And I was gonna tell him, if I see him again, I'm gonna tell him, listen, do not mention my name on another channel. Okay? I don't want any fucking mention. Don't mention my name, because he mentions me all the time. And I told him, I'm gonna, I told him before, but I'm gonna tell him again. Do not mention my name on anything, because I don't want to deal with your shit. If something happens to you, they're gonna go down the list. You know how fucking cops are. They're gonna go down the list. They're gonna say, "Okay, we're gonna bring this guy in for questioning. We're gonna bring this guy." I don't want to deal with that shit. I got enough shit in my life. I don't want to fucking deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm serious. Hello, Elmer Time. I hope you're doing well. AD7LN. Yeah, it's called Fuck Around and Find Out Exactly. Yeah, because this kid, he doesn't understand, And I even told Tasso, I said, listen, you got to cut him a little bit of slack because he's autistic. But it gets to a point where I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to say, you know what? I don't care if you're autistic. You're not going to be part of this channel. That's it. I'm going to cut you off. And if that sounds heartless, then it is. Because I don't want to deal with the liability that could come my way. And that's the point. And I make that point clearly years ago when I started the live streaming. I said, I don't want to deal with teeny boppers and the teeny drama. And then God forbid it comes down my way. And then I got to deal with legal shit. Legal repercussions and whatever the fuck. So I didn't know that because I shut down my server for a month and a half. And when I went into the fmdx.org Discord group, I saw all the drama, the screenshots and all that. Mike posted it. He called him every freaking word in the book, even the N word and all this shit. And then he threatened to, off himself. And Mike reported him. That was it. And I think the maker of the fmdx.org is going to ban his server. He puts it online. He's going to ban his server. From what I read, he's not going to be able to host his own server. I think he's going to ban him. But I could be wrong. It's just the kid, and let me tell you, it happened before that. When he first came to my channel, I banned him because he was cursing on my chat. And I told him, ain't nobody going to curse on my chat, only me. I'm the only one that curses on the air. I don't want to, but he started, so he got upset. He deleted his channel. Well, he took down his channel. And then T Radio 972 told me, oh, did you delete Chicopee, whatever? And I was like, I don't know. And then I checked. I said, oh, yeah, I did delete him. I did ban him. So I reinstated him. But now he's proven me to be, he's proven, yeah. Because he looking at his channel, when he had his active channel, and I kept telling him, If you go to his channel right now, he brought his channel back up. It's under a different name though. It's like Chicopee underscore 2009 or something like that. He has like my favorite YouTuber, and he has a ban list, and he put Tasso in there, and I'm really getting pissed off at that shit. Like the guy is just, of course we're dealing with somebody that has autism, and he claims he has ADHD. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna ban him. So I think he's just he's probably gonna get banned within the next day or two. Because the more I talk about it, the more I just want to ban him. Because I'm sick of this shit. To be honest, I'm sick of it. I don't need this shit in my life. But I just want to wait till he has his server up and see what happens. But I think I'm going to ban him because I don't want to deal with this shit. And I don't need this shit in my life right now. I really don't. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I gotta cover my ass. I went in there today, fmdx.org Discord group. I went in there and I see the comments. If you go into North America, for all you people in North America, just disable your chat. And there's one person that's causing all this shit, and it's him. I showed you. Remember I showed you one time he kept connecting every fucking few minutes? Like, the kid has an obsessive personality. He's very obsessive. It's not only autism, he just has an obsessive personality, which is kind of creepy because that means that he could be a stalker. Basically that's what he has. He has a stalker mentality. And I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with stalkers. So, I think he's just going to get banned soon. That's why I don't have my server online now, because it's not only him, it's other people. But, I had good intentions of putting this server online and people could tune my radio and all that. And I wanted to have the chat open, but, I just don't want to deal with this shit. And I made it clear in a couple of live streams back. I said, you kids are ruining the... And the kid that I was talking about, he lost his channel. The kid that was getting stalked, he actually lost his channel. YouTube actually went against him and he lost his channel. Even though it wasn't his fault that he's getting stalked, YouTube took down his channel. And that really pissed me off. Because the kid didn't deserve to lose his channel. It's not his fault that someone else is doxing him. And he also dealt with Chicopee. Chicopee had cursed him out too. The more I talk about it now, I just want to ban him right now. But I think he's going to get banned anyway. I think I'm going to ban him. I just don't want... I was going to have one more talk with him, but I think at this point, I don't want to deal with it. I really don't want to deal with it. It's unfortunate, but... So that's why I don't really want to bring the FMDX server back up. And if not last night, the night before. Actually, last night it was. I brought it up for 3 hours and then I took it down. because somebody right away started hogging up the server, and I said, you know what, fuck you. I just pulled the plug on it. I said, I don't my patience is like this, very thin, just paper thin. You know, yeah, exactly. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. So that way, when people say, "Oh, you was mean to him," no, I'm not mean to him. I gave him plenty of chances. You know, his behavior was, you know, when I didn't have my server online for a month and a half, I didn't know about that because I didn't check the Discord for a month. When I went in there, I saw that he went off on Tasso. He went off on Mike, and I said, okay, this fucking kid is out of control. Because Tasso is the coolest guy ever. And then Mike, you know, I don't know Mike that well, but Mike seems to be a nice guy. I remember Mike offered him a server. Mike was going to send him a computer. So for him to treat Mike like that really pissed me off. So, and he was banned here for about a month. And then I said, you know, I felt bad. I felt bad that, you know, so I reinstated him. But now I'm regretting that decision. So he's going to get banned. The more I talk about it now, yeah, he's going to get banned. I don't want to deal with that no more. So there you go. All right. Radio back on.
We have seen fighting moving east towards the Kordofan. There are 3 states, in fact, in the Kordofan. Kadugli is the capital of South Kordofan. It has been practically under siege, meaning that people couldn't come in or out for quite a few months. The situation at the moment, you've heard the gentleman before me.
Man, this one is good. I'm not going to lie to you.
That people are moving out. We have been seeing
it's called Luscious Red.
On the other side of the border, which had not been the case for the past, well, since
the bottle right now is in the chest freezer. I'm trying to keep it cold.
Is directly south of Kadugli.
But my God, it really hit me nicely.
What's going on inside the city?
Because, you know, I'm a little lightweight anyway. But
itself right now, the situation is quiet. It's around Kadugli.
There's leftover wine from the party, so not gonna let it go to waste.
Are any aid organizations left on the ground, and what would you call for? So it has been the same in Darfur and in the Kordofan. There have been NGOs on the ground in Kordofan.
Anyway, for the new year, I am going to study for my, yeah, it is giving me a warm, fuzzy feeling. Yeah, I already have that buzz. I had it for over an hour now. Right now, I'm buzzed out. Even to the point where I had to watch while I'm walking. So I have to be careful when I'm walking.
This is a war that's been going on for close to 3 years now, since April 2023.
So yeah, I definitely gonna go for my general. I'm done. I'm done with 10 meters. I got my badge
More than 12 million people have been
for the 12 days of QRZ, excuse me. I had a burp, excuse me. 12 days of QRZ, I got my badge, so that's my, so I got 12 badges on my QRZ now. So, you know, I'm not a lightweight ham radio operator. I got 12 badges under my belt on QRZ, biatches. So all you haters out there, you need a ham radio operator. Yeah, I am. 163 countries, 138 confirmed on QRZ. So yeah, suck it, bitches.
Thank you very much for Maria Lanzini.
Yeah, mostly it's FTA. Yeah, it's FTA. It's boring. Yeah, suck it, bitches. There you go. So if I get my general, I'm definitely going to hit 200 countries. So yeah, I'm going to get my general. So I can get 200 fucking countries, maybe even 250.
Palestinians want for a future state. This is the largest such expansion in the territory for decades.
But definitely 200.
Under international law.
It's going to happen.
Remain one of the most contentious issues between Israelis and Palestinians. And while much of the world's attention has been focused on the war in the other Palestinian territory, the Gaza Strip, violence in the West Bank has risen sharply. The BBC's Sarah Montague is there.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you know, it's not that for me. I feel like I already pretty much contacted everybody on 10 meters.
Go and visit some of these.
The only reason why I'm doing it is not because of that, but it's because I'm getting bored with 10 meters. That's all.
Partly funded by the UK government,
you know,
so we were keen to see.
Every time I log in, I see everybody. I already. There's no more new countries on 10 meters for me.
We arranged to meet them.
New counties, new grid squares, whatever. I'm at the point where I just pretty much conquered that shit. So now it's time to go down to 20. And, you know, maybe even 40. So that's why.
There were two young men. They must have been between 14 and 16.
And of course, I'll do some voice down there.
They were throwing stones at them, trying to drive them through the
Palestinians'
homes.
I'm just finally now I'm bored.
A group of volunteers.
As soon as I got my badge, that's it. I haven't turned on my radio.
The Bedouin homes.
So like already a few days. I got my badge on Saturday. Saturday morning, I got my badge. I skipped a day. So Saturday morning, I got the badge.
Somebody's got to do this. Somebody's got to protect these communities from being forced off their land. The police did come. We've been warned they may come, and if they do, nothing will happen. And that's what the Bedouin communities were telling us, that they feel.
I mean, that's another thing too. You know, I heard people say that 10 meters was. You couldn't use 10 meters all year round, even when conditions were supposed to be good for it. So I already kind of used it up. Pretty much milked it.
And we did actually
you know,
see a community for whom things had got a lot.
Pretty much got, you know.
It was a few miles away. And
so now, you know, it's time to move on.
To get much more serious, such they had left their home. They had set up in a refugee camp 3 kilometers.
So yeah, I definitely want more privileges now. I'm kind of done with it. So I definitely want my general now. No, I really want my general. So that's my goal now. I want to get my general by, you know, early spring. A few months, I'll get my general.
So what, they broke into houses?
Yeah, but I can't even do 10-meter beacons. I need my general for that too. I can't do beaconing. That's 29 megahertz. I can't do beaconing at all. That's for general also. That's already so that's another reason. Even if I want to do 10-meter beacons, I need a general for that.
And the outposts, it started what with an
So
outpost outside the village.
نعم في تاريخ 3 يوليو 2025 هو سبب تهجير. So in 3rd of July
I'll be right back.
2025, the community.
Let me go get a refill.
Settlers attacks that started by establishing a new Israeli outpost inside the houses or between the houses.
So what, they constructed something right in the middle of the village?
Not like a tent or caravan inside the community, and they start having this continuous series of threatening people. In most of the settlers' attacks cases, the community called the police to come and protect them. But in all cases, the police comes to protect the settlers.
Sarah, what about the settler communities that you spoke to? What do they say about the kind of experiences you were hearing there from earlier, and what their justification is for that kind of behaviour?
Bob, it is worth saying that there are many different types of settlers. And, we drove through communities today where they were relatively well integrated. You had Hebrew alongside Arabic. There's something sort of much more serious going on, which is those outposts that we were hearing about cropping up increasingly over the West Bank and getting built up. And I went to see, actually, a Knesset member who has
this is
lived
gonna be
in
good, yo.
we would call an outpost. He wouldn't refer to it as that. And he has been one of the driving forces behind settling more of the West Bank.
28. Okay, I gotta look into that. But
He sees it as the absolute reverse of the way that much of the rest
because
of
29, I can't do 29 at all.
The pressuring of communities in
Even the repeater, 29 megahertz, I can't do that. FM. That's for general.
groups that used to live there move for different reasons.
Actually, I don't know about this. But yeah, I know the beacon, I can't do a 29.
In basically Manchester, it happens everywhere around the world. It happens in New York. It's not very easy.
And this is the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing, because when you have illegal immigrants getting to Britain, they are pushing away people from their ancestral homeland, and we are the indigenous people of this land, and people that were illegally occupied our land does not feel...
Shut up with that fucking shit. Fucking bullshit. I hate that fucking argument. Oh, they stole my land. Oh, fuck you. Stupid. Fucking stupid argument about they stole your land. They stole your land because you were not civilized. That's what happened. That's it. When they came here and they saw the savagery, they said, no, you know what? You guys are too savage. We're going to wipe you out. That's what happened. I'm sorry. I stole your land. Bullshit. Fuck you. I logged about 40. Okay. So you're doing stuff. Okay. I have to look into that beacon from, I think Paul mentioned it before. So it's 28.2 to 28.3. I have to look into that then. Okay. I have to look into that. But yeah, I'm at the point now where I just want to get my general. I'm done with that. Because I'm getting bored with 10 meters already. I'm not getting bored. I'm already bored with it. I mean, if you look at my QRZ right now, I have about I forgot how many thousands. I forgot the amount, but anyway, it's time to move on. Yeah, but I can't do SSTV. That's why I want to get my general, because that's another thing I can't do with a technician. I can't do SSTV. Somebody asked me about that months ago, and I looked it up and I said, nope. It's right outside the what I can do. So I can't even do SSTV at all. On HF, nope. Nothing. So I can't even do that. No SSTV. Good morning, Glenn Dansler. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Good morning. So yeah, so SSTV, as a tech, no, I can't do any of that.
flee from their home. School had to be shut. Children are losing opportunity to learn or catch up to people or students who live in the capital city who are not affected by this conflict. We're talking about hospital had to be shut and of course local businesses. So the ongoing at the moment is still ongoing, and even though we have intervention from both Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, who called both the leader of both countries, also with the US President Donald Trump, who are actually called and also at the moment threatened to hike up the tariffs. The ongoing conflict is still continuing.
And Malaysia has postponed an emergency meeting they had planned for the ASEAN foreign ministers, that's the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Are there hopes that there could be a truce or, negotiations would make some steps forward?
Yeah, we have talked to quite a few scholars who have hope that the ASEAN as an organization could do better, especially with Anwar is respected by both countries. But a lot of scholars also point out the inherent problem of ASEAN as an organization, that they don't inherently have the power to dissolve the conflict. So at the moment, some of the scholars are suggesting and estimating that it's up to the two countries to find the common ground for them to start talking again.
And there was talk earlier of the U.S. potentially being involved in trying to bring the two sides together, and President Trump had said that he would call the leaders of the two countries. What is the latest on that?
So he had called already, but the stand from the Thai government is that Cambodian, according to the Thai government, Cambodian is the one who violated the joint agreement, the Kuala Lumpur Declaration that was signed back in October, where President Trump was also there. So on the Thai stand, they said that unless Cambodia met with Thai conditions in a sense of to not pose threat to Thai territory or integrity of
Thailand,
the
oh my
Thailand
God.
military operation still ongoing, and according to the Thai government, it seems that they still persist that the Cambodia is still fighting accurately, still using drones, so that why the military operation is still ongoing, and they refuse to agree to the ceasefire, even though President Trump has already called or threatened them with the tariff hike.
The BBC's Panisa Emocha there.
I watch these videos, travel videos, and wow. I wouldn't mind going to Thailand.
Last summer, Algeria's Khalia Namour stormed to gold in the women's uneven.
The cost of living, oh my God.
2024 to become the first African to win an Olympic medal in artistic gymnastics. She was 17 then, and she made history by winning for Algeria, a nation she switched to
Vietnam.
after a dispute with the French Federation. Before that, the French-born gymnast also became the first African to win a medal at the 2023 World Championships, winning silver on the uneven bars. And more recently, she struck gold again in the Worlds at Jakarta, now ahead of her next goal, the 2026 African Championships, which is in Yaoundé, Cameroon next year.
I look at my crypto wallet and I go, okay, let me convert this into Vietnamese dong. And I'm like multi-millionaire many times over in Vietnam. And in Thailand too. You're like, my God, I have so much dong. Or baht. The Thailand is called a baht. I'm like, my God, I'm a millionaire in Thailand.
I feel like I've already done a lot and experienced a lot. It's pretty crazy, really. You made history by...
Many times over. I'm like almost,
It was in Paris last summer. You were also crowned world champion in Jakarta, Indonesia in October. What does it mean to you to be a role model?
What is an 1110? I don't know. Let me see if I can. Let me see this way they can pick up 1110. 1110, let's see. Probably coast to coast. Coast to coast. Probably coast to coast. I have right there now. Sound like coast to coast.
but it was obvious the government would rather have sold electricity, controlled its use and application, and metered it. So my question for you is, do you see yourself to be in the same situation as Nikola Tesla was? And are you finding that you're having a lot of pushback from political...
I mean, I touch it. Much better.
People popping up all over the landscape with fresh mineral reserves, and essentially they don't want people drilling for their own oil. Why would they want people drilling for their own fresh water? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do. I don't see myself or my organization as the Nikola Tesla of fresh water.
And probably a guest host.
Extraordinarily fortunate moment when I literally...
that's a guest host. Yeah, coast to coast.
Recognize.
But right now they have a guest host.
There was something, a solution that
it's a woman. So she's a guest host for tonight.
But we certainly didn't invent it by eating.
But yeah, that's coast to coast.
The majority of the tests that we have was...
We go to 1170.
A number of different people.
Let me go to 1170.
Yeah,
coast to coast. 1170, coast to coast, the same thing.
With some additions there. But,
yeah, so coast to coast.
It's interesting when you have a solution that could...
Yeah, but do you know what channel it is? No, coast. I mean, when 1110, 1170, it's all syndicated, of course, coast to coast. So that's why, 1110 now went to... Oh, there you go. Oh, actually, he's on. I thought she was a guest host, but I guess she's not. Oh, so she's a host, not a host. The woman voice was a guest. Okay. Now, don't get me started with Sandro, please. Maybe that's Sandro. No, that's not Sandro. But Sandro, oh my God, bro. Every time I hear her, she's just, I don't know, man. When she talk about swimming 100 laps, she's fit. Wow. I know Sandra really, I don't know, lately she's been, I thought she was a little dorky. But when she talk about her fitness routine, I'm like, oh my God. Stairmaster, and she swims 4 laps. I'm like, oh my God, Sandra got to be fit. Slim and fit. But yeah, Sandra. And she's like, I was laying in bed, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, okay. You paint that mental picture in my head. Yeah, West Virginia.
Playlist too. Just open the app and search Holiday now. Your one-stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart. A big component of the Democrat resistance is this fantasy. Donald Trump is a king, a tyrant. When resistance is met with even more resistance. They want to create this narrative. The United States military, they're obligated not to follow illegal orders. Yeah, they know. WPA. News Radio 1170 WPA. Wheeling and iHeartRadio.
Hey, Wheeling, West Virginia. Wheeling.
For Rob Reiner's
Sun. I'm Ted Lindner, Fox News. Officials in L.A. on Tuesday announcing charges in the murders of director and actor Rob Reiner and his wife. Fox's Kristen Goodwin with more from L.A.
L.A. County District Attorney Nathan
All right, let me minimize. Let me lower that. Here's my take on that. My mother had crackhead kids. My older brother, he's a crackhead. He disappeared. But he never had rage. He never laid a hand on my mother. He never. What this guy did to the even though I'm gonna say Rob Reiner was a fucking scumbag. Sorry, people. I'm not gonna give him a eulogy. He's a Trump hater. He called MAGA, oh, you fucking assholes and all that. Fuck you. I'm not going to say it now, but you know what I'm... Anyway, when a son... But then again, he was on methamphetamine. That's crazy. That's a crazy drug. I never took that shit in my life. I never thought about, that shit. From what I hear story about methamphetamine, it's crazy. But when a child goes after the parents that bad, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. To me, the kid had a rough upbringing. Either he was really abused by them. I'm not defending this shit, people. I'm just saying, when a person has that much rage to slice the throat of both parents, that's personal. That's rage. That's rage. Okay, I'm going to say it. I don't care, people. Hey, I'm going to unsubscribe this guy. Fuck you. Unsubscribe me. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say it like it is. When a person does that, they slice the throat of their two parents, that's rage. That's rage. That means that the kid was somehow, he didn't meet their expectations. Of course, he was a drug addict. But they really, I think before he was a drug addict, I think they really fucking, I'm going to say Mommy Dearest. If you ever watch that movie, Mommy Dearest, watch that movie. The way she treated, the way Joan Crawford treated the daughter. And by the way, she was adopted. The way she treated her like shit and abused her, I think that's what happened to this kid. I think he was abused for many years, which led to his drug addiction, and finally it manifested itself that he killed him. That's what happened. That's my opinion. I don't care if you don't agree with it. I don't give a fuck either way. But I think that the kid was, you gotta understand the father was a successful, actor, director, whatever. The kid was already under pressure. He was under pressure. The wife, I think she's related to Penny Marshall, a sister or something. I don't know what the fuck. I really don't give a fuck. So, there was a high expectation, and that's the problem. When you put high expectations on your kid, no white hangers in the closet, exactly. I think that they put this kid on a high expectation, and he couldn't achieve it. And then they resented him, whatever, abused him. Then he turned to drugs. And then, of course, it turned to hatred. It was hatred. Because you got to, when you slash the throat of your parents. That's hatred. I'm sorry. That's a personal shit. Stabbing is personal. I watch all these crime, documentaries and all that. When you stab somebody, especially like that, you cut that's personal. That's a personal thing. That's not no random shit. That's a personal shit. That means that the kid was simmering for a long time. He wanted to kill them. So he's guilty. He's guilty. He's guilty of first-degree murder. Premeditated. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but he's fucking guilty. But, did something trigger that? Yeah, years and years and years and years of abuse. Because from the way Rob Reiner, the way he talks about Trump, the guy has issues. The guy has major fucking anger issues. Trump derangement syndrome. So yeah, so I can see him being that way with his son. He probably called him a loser. God knows whatever name he called his son. And you didn't think his son take that shit personal? Of course he did. So I'm not saying that it's right. It's not right. I'm not saying that what his son did was right. But there's a bigger story behind the murders. Okay? And I think it culminated to that. I think it was a buildup of many years of, their family coming down on him. And that's why he got addicted. He turned to drugs. And then, of course, finally, it boiled over. So I think Rob Reiner was a scumbag. Yeah, he was a scumbag. If your own son kills you because you was a scumbag, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I don't care what anybody tells me. You was a shitty human being. You go after Trump all the time, whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck about you about that. But when your own son kills you, yeah, you are a shitty human being. And karma came and bit your fucking ass. That's what happened through your son. Because probably the way you treated him too. You probably treated him the same way, you put the high expectation thing on him, which is the worst thing you can do to a kid. And a lot of parents do that shit. They're guilty of that shit. You put your own expectations on the kid. Just because you didn't do the things that you did in life, like athletes. I know a lot of athlete parents are like, well, I didn't get to play professional sports, but I'm going to make my son into a professional athlete. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I was a fucking athlete when I was a kid. All the way to my, early adolescence, adulthood. I was a fucking fit athlete. I could have played professional if I wanted. If I put my head, but unfortunately for me, I didn't do that. I fucked up. But I'm not going to put that expectation on my kid. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you need. That's what he didn't do. He probably put the same expectation. And I'm fucking assuming this shit. You call me an asshole if you want. I don't give a fuck. But I think they had a high expectation of the kid. And he didn't live up to it. And they demonized him, and he turned into fucking drugs and alcohol. Okay? And it blew up on their face later on in life. And that's what happened. And there you go. Booyah! I say like it is here, people. If you don't like it, fuck off. That's how I roll. Because the guy was a fucking asshole.
To get 15% off your order. Being read for, divination. My aunt used to read playing cards, which we call catamancy. So she read playing cards for when we were growing up. So I'm sort of familiar with the idea of it. And then I went through a bit of a life meltdown, as a lot of people do. And I was sort of guided by strange meetings. So
it's the last service for this one. The last service is right here.
We can trace the tarot back to the 14th century.
Oh shit, I got slushy. He got slushy. Oh my god. What the hell, man? Sorry about that. Oh shit. Okay, hello, Glenn Dansler. I'm using my phone, so. Okay, no, you're not hitting. What the hell, man? What the hell's going on with this thing? There you go. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm streaming on my phone, so I got sausage fingers. Anyway, hello. It said hi. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, hello, Glenn. I don't know why it says was hidden. What the hell, man?
Found themselves in Italy.
Anyway, you're not hidden, okay? Please. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. You was unhidden. Okay.
Through common usage, they got mashed up together. So we have the trumps.
There you go. So anyway, all gone. I got a little bit of white wine left. Let me bring that.
And the pole, which was the joker. So that, they mashed together and then they split up again. So that was their earliest, that was where they came from. And they've evolved over the centuries to literally spread all over the world. There is tarot in country of the world, we think. Every country. It's an amazing phenomenon.
Tell me about the title of your book, The Life Code Terror. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, the book talks about how being a code, and that code is
YouTube blocked my comment. No, it was me. It was by accident.
we can read because
No, it was by accident, Glenn. It was me. I actually accidentally,
because it's referring
but I reinstated it. Sorry. Is that the chat on the phone is more tight, and I have big fat fingers, and sometimes it gets in the way. So it's not YouTube. It was me by accident. Sorry.
because anybody can read it. It doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter what country you're from. It is a universal code that can be read by anybody anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So it's a life code because it's talking about our lives and how we create our lives. So it's an energetic playbook, if you like. The Fool and the Magician, and so it's the secret of life, right? Because it's a playbook. The Fool and the Magician are the heroes of our story.
Let me try another station.
And how we use energy. And most people are putting it.
And then the some basic. They're going to fight it for those things. That is D.C. Council member Kenyon McGuffey and runs for mayor.
WFED out of Washington, D.C. right there.
Janice Lewis George has already announced her candidacy for mayor of D.C.
1500 WFED.
We're working on a WTOK. Prosecutors in California have announced charges against Nick Reiner in the death of his parents, the Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle. We've learned that he is being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. President Trump plans to hold a live crime time address to the nation Wednesday night. The White House says he'll talk about his plans for the next 3 years. Keep it here on WTOK.
Yep, tariff check. I hope he announces tariff check. Everybody get $2,000 tariff check.
The Northwest Stadium and continue around through Commerce Park and Silver Spring.
That would be nice relief. I think that's what he's going to announce, a tariff check. So there's a refund for the tariff. They collected over $200 billion in tariffs so far. So I guess he's going to give that back to the people that pay taxes. People that, yeah.
I'm Robert Workman, your next traffic report in 10 minutes. A good-looking Wednesday across the DMV with temperatures above normal for a change in the upper 40s to middle 50s. Tomorrow will be in the 50s once again, but a strong cold front is on the way beginning during the evening. That's going to bring us a round of wet weather along with a few rumbles of thunder. Temperatures will fall as we move through the day on Friday. We'll start in the 60s. We'll end in the 40s by afternoon with wind gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour. We're dry on Saturday at highs just around 40 degrees. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Ruger, the First Alert Weather Center. Brought to you by Lynn the Plumber Heating and Air. Trusted same-day service 7 days a week.
Time for WTOP's Education Minute. Today we're talking about helping kids get more organized. With me is Barry Davis, and it's a play school in Potomac. Barry, any tips?
Absolutely. The key is visualization. When we tell a child, get ready for school, we're really asking them to perform a dozen little steps. Pick out clothes, brush teeth, pack the backpack.
Right, and that can feel overwhelming.
Exactly. I would say one strategy we use is taking photos of students actually doing each step, like putting a backpack away or organizing a desk. Then they have a visual reminder of what's needed to finish the task.
I love that. It makes the steps crystal
clear.
And the parents can do the same at home. Post a few photos of your child completing routines. It's a simple way to give them a roadmap to success.
Great idea. That was Barry Davis from McLean School in Potomac, serving bright students including
This is the white wine that's left.
executive functioning challenges. Learn more at their January.
Kind of slushy right now, but.
McLeanschool.org.
This is WTOP.
I'm gonna finish that one too, and that's it.
Multi-million-dollar White House says he's unlikely to stop the construction on the ballroom despite a lawsuit claiming the project is an abuse of presidential power. WTOP's Mike Murillo reports.
The National Trust for Historic Preservation says the White House violated federal law by tearing down the East Wing and moving ahead with construction without requiring approval from planning agencies, Congress, or the public. Attorney Todd Hewer told
Oh, give me a fucking break. What the? Not a violating. He's a fucking president. He can do what the fuck he wants.
The group argues that
The fuck out of here.
stopping the work, the public permanently
They violated him. Fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
But Judge Richard Leon says he's not.
Yo, they cock block. They cock block this fucking guy every fucking which way they can. Jesus Christ. Fucking permit. Get the fuck out of here.
The judge demolition ended December the 5th. He argued the White House is acting within its authority and said current work is limited and tied to national security and that ballroom plans are not yet final. The D.C. District Court, Mike Murillo, WTOP News.
The head of the FAA says he will not allow operations in D.C. airspace to revert to the way they were.
They try to cock block this man every way they can, bro. Fucking judges. Oh, he didn't have a permit to tear down the East Wing.
Brian Bedford told Congress
Get up.
that new safeguards like requiring broadcast
The fuck out of here.
will stay in place because as lawmakers are debating
Jerk offs.
$1 billion defense bill that critics warn could weaken those protections. He also defended the FAA's decision to cut flights during the government shutdown recently, citing staffing shortages and safety concerns.
Oh, you're gonna get Washington too? Okay. 1500 WFED/WTOP.
Trump Tuesday says he will stand by his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, after she said the president had, quote, an alcoholic's personality in an astonishing interview with Vanity Fair. The White House says the interview was taken out of context. Wiles, the first woman chief of staff to a U.S. president, was interviewed roughly a dozen times for the piece where she talked about the January 6th event and other issues. CBS News senior White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe.
She makes clear she had big disagreements with the president on several key policy points. On day one, for example, when he pardoned nearly 1,500 people convicted of January 6th insurrection-related crimes, she suggested to the president you should only pardon the nonviolent ones. But the president argued, no, even the violent ones were mistreated by the FBI, and so she eventually sort of got on board.
Members of a California religious group now have been charged with 2 murders.
Daryl Martin, his wife Shelley Martin, and Andre Thomas, members of a religious group based in Hemet, have been charged with murder in the 2010 death of Thomas's 4-year-old son, Timothy. A statement from San Bernardino County DA Jason Anderson describes Shelley as a leader and prophet of a religious high-control group called His Way Spirit-Led Assemblies. Police say the little boy died after his parents placed him with the Martins, who then prevented Timothy from receiving treatment for appendicitis. Shelley Martin has also been charged in the death of 40-year-old Emilio Ganem. Ganem was a former His Way member who moved to Nashville, but when he traveled back to California in 2023, he disappeared. Ganem's burnt-out rental pickup truck was found in the Mojave Desert, but his body was never recovered. Investigators say new information from former His Way members helped lead to the charges. I'm Jennifer King.
Sports is next.
Sports on WTOP, brought to you by Amentum.
Yeah, 650. I don't know because it's kind of noisy. Let me try it on this radio. Let me try it on this one. Hold on. The 650 is very noisy for me. Yeah, plus this one is having bandwidth filter, so you hear the fan is bleeding over, so no dice on this one. Actually, let me try the where's the key dose in there? Let me get the key dose in. Where the hell did I put it? Oh, it's right here. Actually, let me fire up the Kidosin. Here you go, the Kidosin.
Mr. Rogers never served any military.
Mark Miner.
Yeah, I'm getting bleed over from, yeah. So, we're at 640.
Heard about that? I've often tried to tell you about it. On a day
620. Brother Stair.
those who were filled with the Holy Ghost
WSNR.
to speak with other tongues, not other languages, of other tongue, a tongue that was not of
Brother Stair.
doing. Now, what they spoke in was spirit language. Did you know that language has a spirit? Everyone, people even talk about it. Oh, this is a romantic language, or this is a crude language, or
Yeah, but this one doesn't have sideband. Kidosin, no side, no single sideband. Let me try 1040.
In billion.
originating.
There you go, WHO out of Iowa. You can barely hear it, but it's there. WHO out of Iowa. 1050 Bleeding In, ESPN Radio. Let me try KXCL. Let me try Cincinnati.
Of course.
Zuma Radio. Zuma Radio. Oh, you getting 1040? There you go. Zuma Radio. Let me try Atlanta. There you go. WSM Atlanta. I mean WSB, excuse me. WSB out of Atlanta. Coast to coast.
The Coast website is now conveniently optimized for mobile devices. If you're a carrier, you can listen for every long journey. So don't forget the fare. For more information, visit
That's Cincinnati. There you go, 1530.
from the Rubber Manufacturers Association.
Our son's drinking interferes with our retirement. We found help at Al-Anon Family Group. Is someone's drinking troubling you? You might be surprised at what you can learn at an Al-Anon Family Group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
No script, no filters, just pure sports talk. Mo Egger, today at 3 p.m. on ESPN
15-20 Buffalo.
Grills, and we're definitely going to give him a good test to see if he can go for Thursday night. Obviously, it's really more about, all right, how do you distribute your 5 eligibles? So, we have to be able to have a plan for if he is and if he isn't. And
Be right back. I'm going to go upstairs for a minute.
And our responsibilities with the contingency plan. 5 eligibles. We have to know if he is or if he isn't. All right. Well, okay. Yeah, look, I mean, the way that Devontae Adams pulled up lame in that game against the Rams on Sunday, it certainly didn't look good, and that's what Sean McVay, I think, initially said. But they said they haven't ruled him out yet. And he's going to be given, quote, unquote, every chance to play on Thursday. So this is looking like it's going to come down to a game-time decision here on tomorrow night. Seahawks-Rams, one of the best games of the year. They're coming first place in the NFC, West first place in the NFC. Winner gets the 1 seed. And winner will be in control of their own destiny for the 1 seed in the playoff race for the champion. And I'm just saying this is another similar spot. It is another familiar spot for Sam Darnold. Played for the 1 seed in the NFC last year with the Vikings against the Lions and got terrorized by that Lions pass rush. But it was beat up by them. Sam Darnold played the Rams early this year and threw 4 picks, and Seattle still almost won the game. Sam Darnold didn't play well enough on Sunday. He took the field goal just to meet Philip Rivers in the Colts. And he proved that even in the biggest games, he can play like a top-10 quarterback. Now, without Devontae Adams playing for the Rams, they got his face. Yeah, I might see a little bit more than he normally would. But yeah, this is Devontae Adams. Now, let's move on. Here's Jaden Daniels. He got officially shut down for the rest of the season yesterday. We heard Dan Quinn on yesterday's show talk about it. I said that was a smart move, the right thing to do. There is no point at all with the team eliminating playoff contention and throwing him back out there and further risking another injury. But he's a competitor, wants to win. Here's James Daniels yesterday on the game. Shut down for the rest of the year.
It was obviously disappointed. I'm a competitor, I want to play, but it wasn't nice to be clear to go, and that down for the make the decision.
And it's interesting that he said he wasn't medically clear. Because they did say after the injury that he suffered, he re-aggravated the other injury, trying to make a tackle on the interception that he threw against Minnesota, but they didn't think it was long-term damage and that, he maybe could play next Sunday. So I think if they were even close to being in playoff contention, he probably would. But maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill here. It doesn't really matter. He shouldn't play, and so, it just goes to show you, man, the NFL, I know many people say this all the time, but I like when I get to say it. The NFL stands for not for long. Jaden Daniels, Offensive Rookie of the Year last year, takes Washington to the NFC Championship game. I think the sky's the limit, and then just about everything that could go wrong this year does go wrong. And so, don't be giving up. And I was half a big tool and get younger. retool, trying to look over through the draft, trying to upgrade that defense, trying to upgrade the defensive line, and see if they can come back bigger and better for 2027.
Let me check. I don't know about 7:30. Yeah, I'm not getting anything at 7:30, but no, I'm not getting anything. I hear static. That could be Mexico. I think TV rating 1972 called something at 7:30, and I think it was Mexico. I can barely hear it over here, but it could be Mexico. I forgot what station. I think I know he got something at 7:30 and 900. Excuse me. Well, I hear something now. Hold on. See, in my case, I get CKAC from Canada. That's what I get at 7:30, I believe. CKAC. So I don't get, it's not Spanish, it's, actually it's French. Yeah, that's what I hear now, French. Montreal. I hear it right now. So CKAC 7:30. That's what I normally pick up. Now I'm hearing it now. It's coming in now. Oh yeah, it's coming in right now. You can hear it. French. That's Canada. Montreal. Yeah, so that's CKAC. CKAC out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Are emerging as art. I'm Rich Barnes.
1020 KDKA out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It's work, man. That's the curious point you think of it. I mean, I personally am in a very good time with this right now. This is absolutely what I've spoken for these last couple of years. This is a field that is, like I said, meant to say concept. It goes into it fascinated me. So being able to actually experience this kind of live, I guess, it's really a awesome experience, and I can't wait for us to do more. Anyways, this is an awesome relationship, and I'm sure recognizing that for anyone you just want to put such a great space relationship here. Radio, all over now, super important to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh, and so this is an amazing opportunity for you. If you want to be on there, if you want to go like a little bit, as like a producer, and if you go to do like that, I recommend for you because if you're going to do something that's
All right, I'm going to sign off now. It's been 2 hours and 17 minutes. And I just want to say thank you for joining my live stream, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.